Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Today marks a significant milestone for our United States Space Force as we officially enlist Master Sergeant Kevin Young into the United States Space Force. The presiding official for today's ceremony is the Chief of Staff of Pacific Air Forces, Brig Gen Jennifer Short. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the arrival official party.
Okay, thanks you guys. We can take this off for a few comments. Thanks for making it today. I know it's a special day for Hayoung and Kevin. As you make what I think is a pretty big decision to, after 17 years, decide to go from the Air Force to the brand new Space Force. And we talked a little bit in the office. It's courageous and there's a reason why you're doing it, and I think it's great. So thank you all for being a part of this and taking the time out of what I know is a busy time to recognize this, because it is a big deal. So both of them are from California. I tried to get the meet cute story. Hayoung says no, there was nothing cute about it, but there always is. So anyway, they met in LA and got married, and now in Hawaii for a couple of years. But Kevin's from Northern California. Is the son of a retired chief from the Air Force. 28 years he served. And of note, he started that service in 1948, and that's an important part of what I think is your story. So goes to Lackland to get his training, and waited to make sure that he got into the career field that he wanted. In between that time, they offered him security forces. He said, no, I think I'll keep waiting. So he did, made the right decision, and ends up at Cuba for some training, and then dies Escom Village, so deployed, and did a great job there. And then ends up in LA Air Station or LA, and does 9 years of space, which I think certainly influenced why you're going to make the jump, and met Hayoung, and they'll live happily ever after, right? So shows up in Hawaii, the superintendent in the Enterprise ISR division, and doing a great job taking care of people. And we talked a little bit about that, and that's what he likes to do is make it a family and making sure that he's taking care of family. And for the A2, aren't you fortunate? He's jumping, he's going to stick with you. So I was like, this is a win-win. So really, we're gaining a space master sergeant, and you get to keep him, and Space Force gets a great individual. It was competitive though, right? So not everybody that applied to join Space Force got to. They were established 20 December of 19, so obviously, brand new. And I think that some people are under the misnomer that if you applied to Space Force and you had the right AFSC, you got in, and it wasn't the case. They took about 50% of your AFSC, so it was competitive. And we got a nice letter from General Brown, which I'm sure helped put it over the hump. I don't think you needed it, but I hope that helped, and that you'll treasure that letter. We both enjoyed working for him, and it's great to see him leading our Air Force, but now you're gonna go work for a different chief and do great things. So again, thank you for your service. 17 years to decide to remain kind of seems like an easy, well, of course you're going to, but it's still a decision that you're making, and we appreciate and are grateful for your service. And it's both of you, right? Because this affects your life as well. So Hayoung's been able to still keep her job that she had in LA and do it remotely, even with COVID. She was doing it remotely beforehand, so you guys were on the leading edge, so switching to COVID probably wasn't that big of a deal for you. But it's a sacrifice for you too. So thank you for supporting Kevin and making sure that he can make this leap. So back to the 1948, I asked him, hey, what made this, why did you decide after 17 years to kind of take a chance? Because it is a chance, right? We all know Space Force is gonna be successful, but that's still a big leap at the 17-year point to say, I'm gonna leave the Air Force and I'm gonna join the Space Force. But it was his dad. So his dad influenced him. In 1948, he joined the brand new service that had just been established in 47. And I think that influence made him kind of go, hey, you know what? Space Force is starting up. I really liked my time for the last 9 years working with Space Force. I'm gonna give it a go. So he applied, got in, and here we are today. So with that, I think we proceed with the rest of the ceremony and get you into the Space Force in the uniform. So congratulations and thank you.
At this time, Hayoung, please come forward and replace the Air Force top with the Space Force top. enlisted personnel reaffirm their commitment to the armed services by taking the oath of enlistment. This oath reminds us all of the significant pledge that American servicemen and women made to the support and defense of the Constitution of the United States. Listen carefully to the words of the oath. They speak to the significance of the military service and to why it's such a privilege to serve.
I, Kevin Yan, do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, and that I will obey the orders of the President of the United States and the orders of the officers appointed over me, according to regulations in the Uniform Code of Military Justice. So help me God.